Hello, everybody. Great to see you on this Wednesday. Welcome to Blockchain Brunch. I'm Emily, the crypto recruiter. Here's the alpha, no fluff, just signal. This is your mid-morning dose of hiring trends, the crypto job market moves, and behind-the-scenes insights from people building the future of Web3. Whether you are scaling your team or job hunting in stealth mode, you are in the right place. So grab your coffee. I know I've got mine, and let's brunch in blockchain. So very happy for everybody to be here. What are we doing? We can do resumes today. So if you have a resume that you would like to be reviewed, more than happy to do that for you or answer questions. Don't forget, I can see your comments on LinkedIn. So leave me a comment if you have a question or if you just want to say hi. We've got a little bit of a delay here, but what else is new? Let me pull this up on LinkedIn so I can make sure I'm not missing any comments. Trevor will be here in a minute. Blockchain Brunch. Hold on, I got to mute this. Herman, impressive. Impressive drop. Thank you. I'll take it. Let me see here. Live viewers can comment. Oh, don't show that. Never mind. So Blockchain Brunch, let's go through some of the open jobs that we have. Hey, Torsten, nice to see you here. All righty, Deity. I've got a whole database full of jobs for you, all of them, all the jobs. All right, so we have a community manager open, ideally in LA, open to remote. This is for a fashion brand that's getting into Web3. I'm really excited about it. They also have a brand marketing manager looking for someone that has streetwear experience that has also brought a brand into Web3. Looking for a founding engineer, a senior Golang engineer, a head of growth, a senior SRE. That one is based in Canada, Toronto. We've got a senior software engineer based in California. I've got a head of marketing, a front-end developer, a protocol engineer. I have an account executive for a data company, business development lead, but we're flexible on title there. We could go all the way up to director. I have for an AI company, a product owner, business development manager, and a developer relations specialist. I have a low-level programmer, a systems developer, a smart contracts engineer. And then my hottest job right now is up in Toronto. Well, in Canada, anywhere on East Coast, it's a director of operations. So this person is helping with like data operations. So helping the VP of operations understand product data and what we need to do to drive revenue. That one's really exciting. I've been working on that forever. We had an extended offer, but the woman turned out to be, I'm not even going to say it. I also have a tax director available. That one is open to the US, open to Europe, and also open to Africa. So I'm really excited about that. Hi, Al. Good to see you here. Let me pull up some comments. Ania, hello. Torsten, I already said hi to you, but hello again. Brandon, absolutely. It was great to meet you yesterday. I'm really excited about what you're building. Al, hello. Great to see you guys here. So if you have any specific questions about, God, I say so many times. Oh, I took Blockchain Brunch and I clipped it up, and I just clipped up the word like 50 times, and then it didn't save, which was very disappointing. So I'll remake that after today's Blockchain Brunch, because God knows I'm going to be saying a lot, and it's something that I'm trying not to do. So if, there we go. Hey, Jess, good to see you here. Thanks for coming. I know it's his LinkedIn user, but that is my friend Jessica. Sydney, what kind of background could apply for the product owner position, just in general? Great question. So I'm going to give you some skinny. Recruiting firms can be your best friend, but they also can be your demise. So when you're working with a recruiting firm, there's a fee on top of your head, and it's an expensive, it's not a small amount of money. It's a big chunk of change. So if you are not the perfect candidate for our client, and we're limited to what our clients are looking for, if you are not the perfect candidate, unfortunately, the door is closed through me, right? You could apply directly. Maybe they'll entertain your application directly, but they're not going to entertain you through me. Because again, there's that fee over their head, and we're looking for literally the perfect person. So for a product owner opportunity through a recruiter, you definitely want to have product ownership background, maybe a little project management. But I think when you're working with a recruiter, it's got to be literally perfect. Hey, Trev. And I know that is not a great answer, but I definitely think, project management would be great to get into the space. Data analytics, working with any sort of like creative team would be really helpful as well. So I think that, yeah, I mean, recruiters are great, but at the same time, we can definitely get in your way. And I just want to be transparent about that. You know what I mean? I don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase and tell you I can make all these things happen for you when I can't. So that's the problem with recruiters. Our clients are looking for something very specific. That's why they're working with us. That's why they're paying us. So sometimes our hands are just tied if you're not the perfect background. And I feel like I'm talking in circles at this point. But so yeah, that's what people are looking for.
You just don't want to give them the runaround.
I don't want to give them the runaround, and I don't want to set inaccurate expectations, and I will tell you, finding a job in crypto is very difficult. I think it's one of the most difficult spaces to get into, honestly. That and like aerospace, because it really is all about who you know. So I would really encourage you, expand your network, meet with as many people as you can, right? As an example, Brandon and I had a conversation yesterday about his project, right? There's so many people out there that want to talk about their projects, and people love to talk about themselves. So ask people questions about themselves. Try to start building rapport that way. But the more people you meet, the easier it's going to be. And I'm always preaching for LinkedIn because, Trevor, if you were hiring someone, where's the first place you would look?
LinkedIn.
So
I would actually, and then also too, to kind of expand on that, and most people do, I've seen even posts from some hiring managers, they look within their network. So they look within their network and on LinkedIn. And there are other avenues, obviously, to connect with people. But I think that, your highest chances are of being placed is to utilize this platform and connect with all the other great professionals that are really kind of sharing that mindset.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're connected with someone on LinkedIn, you have immediate access to be messaged, right? They've got direct access to you without a premium subscription to say, hey, I'm hiring, thought you might be interested in this, right? So I think connecting on LinkedIn is critical. I would encourage you to send out 100 connection requests a week. And I know that sounds like a lot. Do 25 a day. Search keywords, right? Search the keyword crypto, filter by your location, and just boom, 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 right down the list. The more the merrier, but you can only have 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. So something to really keep in mind there. So you want to be semi-strategic about who you're reaching out to. But at the end of the day, it took me 10 years to get to 20,000 connections. So I think you'll be just fine. All right. So Ania, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Which roles are in high demand for Web3 with someone with a law degree and payments compliance backgrounds? Great question. I feel like I'm way too short here. I'm like looking up above the comments. I'm a very short person, so we'll put that there. So opportunities that are available right now, compliance is so hot. So many people are hiring compliance analysts. I actually had a outside counsel legal opportunity. I think these law firms are really starting to beef up their crypto practices. But I think anything in the AML, BSA, KYC is critical right now. I see a lot of companies hiring for them. So, but you could also go the more legal route if you've got a JD. So that is what I would suggest to you, compliance analyst. And there's all these, what are they called? Like outsourced compliance companies, like AML RightSource. So their clients are crypto companies. So their analysts sit on a rotating basis. I learned this from somebody, so don't quote me on this because they might not have been telling me the truth. But from what I understand, is you sit on a contract and then you move around to different clients. So you might be working on, a crypto account for 6 months, and then 6 months later, you're turned over to a new account. But it's a great way to get crypto experience is through one of those companies. Let me see what else we've got on here. Joseph had a note for Anna. Comments flowing in here. So, Anna, every project could benefit from your service so long as you have blockchain acumen and knowledge. Absolutely agreed. I think having knowledge and a passion for the space is critical, right? If you're not passionate about crypto, you're not going to spend 3 hours a day researching it, right? You're not going to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning falling down the rabbit hole. I mean, it's just passion pushes us forward. It's a critical thing to have in the space. Want to bring up Torts? Look, I gotta hello. Okay, so I'm looking for remote marketing, content creation, social media, or community manager positions in Web3. I have vast experience, published writer and photographer, editor, corporate comms, PR, etc. I've been on the team of a crypto project for the past few years, the world's largest Web3 veteran community. Interesting. So, love that you were looking for a new job. What question do you have for us? I think that was a great intro. And if anybody else would like to introduce themselves, happy to bring you up on stage. Hello, Yiping. It's good to see you. Oh, Jeff is here. Hi, Jeff. Good to see you, Jeff. Okay, let's go with Miss Julie.
What about that question about certificate? Yeah, I was just going to ask, talk about bringing that one up with the certificates. So, and I know that, we've talked about this many times before. Certifications are great, but it's when it comes to applying for jobs, it's going to, if it comes down on paper to people being equal in terms of their skill set and their actual experience, then that certification may be something else that's going to kind of help you stand out from the crowd. But a certification is not going to be something that is going to be the be all and only thing that's going to help you get a job, if that makes sense, right? So it's kind of like, you need to wear a fancy tuxedo or a nice dress to get into the dinner party. And then like the certifications, like the monocle or like the fancy cane or like the nice pair of shoes that you have, to kind of accessorize the outfit. It's not necessarily going to be the only thing that clients are looking for when they're trying to, bring people on board. It's more about the actual real world experience and what you've done with that certification. How did you actually apply that knowledge? Because there are a lot of people that I see on LinkedIn that are just gathering certifications and they're not doing anything with it. Like they're not actually getting internships. They're not volunteering. They're not, doing anything with it. They're just gathering certifications, and that can be costly and problematic.
So I think what Trevor is saying is the certification is not going to get you the job, but it is going to help you stand out from the crowd. It will definitely separate. Think about it like this. If I'm looking at two Web2 resumes, one of them has a crypto certification and the other does not, who do you think I'm calling first? If you don't know, the one with the certification. So I would highly encourage, my favorite are Crypto Consortium, C4, Certified Bitcoin Professional, Certified Ethereum Professional. I've taken both of these courses. I thought they were fantastic. We also have a partnership with C4. We don't get anything for it, but I'm happy to extend you a discount code. They've given us access to that, but it's not like we don't get any. I'm not trying to sell you because I don't make any money off this, is what I'm trying to say. I would love to help you. They've given us a coupon code, but we're not trying to sell you. But I would highly encourage you.
And like building your portfolio of experience, if you do have a certification, especially with like Chainalysis, or, if you're trying to even get an introduction or have a conversation with someone that works at a company, I think that could be a great icebreaker, right? I have a certification. I'm really interested in AML, KYC. I've been doing XYZ. I'm looking to break into the space. I'm really passionate about compliance. These are things that I've been doing, and I have this certification, right? Like, can we have an intro chat? I think that would be a good way to get in. But also too, being unable to break into the crypto compliance. A lot of the clients, especially some of our clients in the more established companies that are focusing in this, they are looking for people that have 3 to 5 years of experience. They are very specific in what they're looking for. So as someone like many other people that are trying to make a transition and break into the space, it's really about your network. And then also too, what are the things that you're doing that can help you to get on the radar or even become remotely attractive to someone that is going to willing to give you a shot. So you may have to take on a 3 to 6 month contract. You may have to, reach out to someone and say, I'm willing to volunteer 5 hours of my time every week so that I can gain some kind of experience. You may have to be willing to volunteer for a company and not get paid. You may have to take on an internship. You may have to do all of these things because those are the things that a majority of people that are also looking for the job are not willing to do. So you really have to think outside the box and do the things that other people aren't trying to do, and don't necessarily think about it as like a step back. It's something that you may need to do in the short term to ultimately position yourself for more success long term.
Great feedback, Trev. We've got some really awesome key comments. I was going to say candidates. We have candidates. We have awesome candidates, but we also got awesome comments. Okay. Carlos, which certification companies carry the most weight? C4, Crypto Consortium. Hey, Zach, good to see you. I mean, this is really a problem. Hold on. Like, you can't see me at all, and now my camera is not balanced. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Better. All right. So hi, Zach. Good to see you. Torsten, how can I position myself to best make the full-time transition into Web3? So if you're a content marketer and in marketing, I would market. I would be posting things. I would be educating the readers, your network, your community. Position yourself as an expert in the field. So this just happened to me. I had a candidate. I can't say his name, but he's this incredible writer. I had a client that had heard of him through his work and asked me if I knew him. So I knew him because I know everybody. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, this company is really interested in your work based off what they've seen throughout the ecosystem. So they actually hired him based off his work alone because they've seen it. So position yourself as an expert. Show a company what you're made of. You know what I mean? Like, show them the quality that they can expect when you accept an offer with them. So that's what I would encourage.
Especially when you're like in community or social media, like it's extremely competitive. I mean, when trying to break into crypto, it's hard. But when you're doing community management or social media, I mean, there are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are doing this, and a lot of them already are crypto native and they already have experience, so they have a significant head start. So the way that you can, in any kind of, I would say, path that you want to go professionally, if you're going to be a community manager, then make a lot of viral posts, make things that are interesting, that are going to speak to the people that are crypto native. Make content about your favorite crypto project. I mean, if you're going to be a social media manager, you have to have a significant following on Telegram, Discord, all these social media platforms, YouTube. Like, do you have a YouTube channel? Are you on the places that all the other people that they're going to see you potentially? And I think that a lot of people just don't really like connect the dots and do that. So like, if you're going to be a crypto community manager, you have to have a large crypto community. You have to be engaging with the crypto community. You have to be willing to start off as a Discord mod. You have to be willing to start off as someone that's going to help maybe update a company's GitHub account. You have to be willing to do those things so that you can get a small amount of credibility, and all those things are stepping stones. So like, I think that a lot of people want to kind of like make this tremendous jump without necessarily taking the small steps. Or it's like trying to like climb a ladder, but you don't want to like start off from the bottom of the ladder. You just want to end up on top. Like, you have to have some progression, and a lot of small things, especially in this space, it does accumulate to something much bigger. And then you can then use that experience to position yourself to get that entry-level position or a junior position. One of the other tips as well too, I see this from a lot of people that are trying to transition into the space, is they're trying to like swing for like the fences and go for the home run and like work at the Coinbase or a TRM or a Gemini or like some of the top 10 companies by market cap. And that's extremely hard, right? There are companies that might be a startup. They might be someone that's not known. They may be a company that's, fully remote in another part of the world. They're going to be much more open to having a conversation and giving someone a shot, because they just don't necessarily need to have someone that may have that insane amount of experience that like these top organizations are looking for. So, if you're starting off small, like try to partner with someone else that's in a similar position, because I think that you will find they're much more likely to give you a shot and be open to helping you and be willing to kind of even grow with you than some a much more established organization that doesn't have the time or the ability to kind of like train you on the job. They don't have the ability to like not have someone that can't hit the ground running immediately. They just don't have the time, and they're not going to pay a significant amount of money to someone unless they can literally do every single thing they're looking for in their job description and more. So it's tough, but all of us got here, right? Like, and really, I would say one of the biggest focuses that you should have if you're trying to transition into the space is think about what you've done professionally that can transfer, or what transferable skills still are going to be applicable in whatever role that you're looking for. So if you're a developer, you're going to need to have a GitHub account. If you're an engineer, you're going to need to know how to problem solve. If you're a manager, you're going to need to know how to lead. All these things are still applicable, and make it very evident in your profile and on your LinkedIn that these are the things that are going to be able to make you succeed in your new role.
Really quick, Trev, we've got 200 people in the room.
Oh,
congratulations to both of us. Really quickly,
remember when we were averaging like 200, 250 for a good time, and then the algorithm changed, I guess.
The algorithm
it's good to see everyone back in the room.
So I want to show you guys something really cool. So we are sponsored by a company called ErgoQuest. ErgoQuest makes these ergonomic lay-down desks. I don't know if you can hear that. It's metal rubbing against each other. But basically, this whole desk comes all the way up, and this chair lays back. It's basically a lay-down desk. It's really cool. It's just, I have a lot of fun with it. But on top of moving up and down, it comes forward. Zooming in. So anyway, if anybody is...
There's someone in the comments, they said something about like their hackathon. Like, hackathons are dope. So if you're technical, hackathons are a great opportunity. We just had one here in Boston recently. It was a really good success. I mean, you're able to, one, get mentored by people that have the experience. You're able to connect with other technical people from the sponsoring organization that's partnering with the hackathon. So, we had one recently with like Ava Labs. So there were people that never experienced their hackathon before, but now they're connected with the DevRel team. They're connected with like the engineers. And these are people that can be not only mentors, but like a guide, right? So, they got into the space. Then if you have a connection with this person and you're showing that you're putting yourself out there, you're becoming vulnerable, you're taking a chance, you're learning on the job, and you're trying to actually bring value, then that's going to be someone that's much more prone to actually have a conversation about what should I do to get better. Like, they are going to advise you on where they started in their career. They're going to maybe give you information about other hackathons or other places that are like really open to, fostering people's careers from the ground up. So it's super important. Think outside the box with things like that, hackathons. Another thing too is like technical boot camps. You don't even necessarily need to be technical to go to a boot camp. I said this many times, but I went to a boot camp for Chainlink, and they were teaching people how to do like smart contracts for the first time. And like, of course, I was like, I didn't know what I was doing, but there were people that were there, and they were very helpful, and they were open to teaching people how to do this kind of basic stuff. So start small, and continue to do things every day. Just don't talk about it, actually be about it.
It's great feedback, Trev. Really quickly, Jordan, ErgoQuest. ErgoQuest is the name of the desk, the desk. Okay, so just pulling up this comment. So let's see here. Torsten's been approached by a headhunter for a job at Bitvavo. Short interview with the recruiter for OKX. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. We're live. I'm not gonna say it. Who knows who's in the audience? So let me just shut that down.
Good catch.
Thank you. The coffee hasn't hit yet. So I think, one of my favorite hacks is thank you notes. So everybody should be sending a thank you note after the interview. And it shouldn't be oh my God, thank you for your time. We really enjoyed it. No one cares about that. You want it to be thoughtful. You want to highlight something that you guys built rapport over during the interview, because that's going to jog their memory. You got to keep in mind, hiring managers are interviewing anywhere between 3 to 20 people. That's a lot to keep track of. I've been doing this for 10 years. That's a lot to keep track of, especially for a hiring manager whose career is not to, he's not a recruiter. She's not a recruiter. So I think taking an extra moment to make sure they remember who you are is absolutely critical. But if you really want to stand out, send a thank you note before the interview. So, when you get the calendar invite, everybody's on the calendar invite, reply all and say, hey, name, I've been doing a lot of research on X, Y, and Z company. I really liked your most recent blog article about X, Y, and Z. Very much looking forward to our interview tomorrow. Thank you in advance for taking the time. Nobody does this. This happened to me once over 10 years. Once. And I was blown away. I was like, how fabulous is this? Right? I felt appreciated. I felt like my time was appreciated. And I was genuinely excited to meet this person because of the extra effort they put in. So I think that, if you want to stand out in that way, thank you notes are a great way to stand out. But I think being personable in the interview is something that's critical. You want to be yourself because you're working very closely with these people. They're gonna find out who you are anyway. So be yourself in an interview. I can't tell you how many people or hiring managers I've heard have hired these people and they think they're one way and then they're completely different when they start. And that's just, it just hurts you, right? Because now you're going to have a gap in your resume. You're going to look jumpy on your resume. So always be yourself in these interviews. If someone doesn't like you, you probably don't want to work for them anyway. So don't sweat it. Trevor, just an update, 297 people.
Woo!
We're
Let's
back.
break 300.
We're back.
We're gonna get 1,000 next time we do this.
Hey.
You know what's also interesting about this in the age of social media, especially when I think everyone's trying to be like everyone else in a sense, it's really important to bring not your whole self, but bring more of yourself to whatever you're trying to do to help yourself stand out. And what I mean by that, right, is that social media is a great place for you to show what you can do, quote unquote, on the job. And if you're technical, you can create posts and you can, share your GitHub account, whatever. But I think that really also stands out is that like in the age that we live in now, especially a lot of our crypto projects and clients, like they don't want someone that's can only wear one hat, right? Like if you're technical now, the days of like sitting in a basement and just coding and not interacting with anyone like are gone, right? You have to be able to communicate with other people on the team. You have to understand other aspects of the business, right? So like one of the great ways that you can stand out, like if you're trying to connect with someone, read the project's white paper. There may be something that's like really minuscule and like deep in the white paper. But if you bring that out to like one of the builders or one of the founders of the organization that you found this part of their technology or their tech stack to be really interesting, especially if you're not technical, that could be someone like that could really pique their interest. Like, wait a minute, this person's like in marketing, but they're sending me a write-up about what they were doing or, how they appreciated like this really technical document. Like, it's just going to really help you stand out. Another good tip is to make sure that you have a presence wherever crypto people are. So, most crypto people, they have a Telegram account. They have an X account. They have a LinkedIn account. Some of them may have Discord accounts, right? If everyone's getting hit up on LinkedIn, then you may want to connect and reach out to them maybe on Telegram, or maybe you might want to reach out to them on their Discord group, or maybe you might want to reach out to them on X, because you really want to you want to kind of try to do what the 99% of the other people aren't going to do. And I would say that, when you're trying to get into this industry, it is kind of like the top 1%. Like, so if you're trying to break into something extremely difficult and hard to get into, you have to think outside the box and you have to be willing to do things that everyone else isn't doing. So use these platforms to like be creative and be you. Like it's going to do you more good in the long term than necessarily it will do more harm, I think.
I keep harping on this, but I'm just so excited. 332.
So
excited because that's more people that we can help. You know what I mean? Like if we can give you the information, listen, if I can help you find a job, fantastic. If someone else can help you find a job, fantastic. If you can help you find a job based off information that we've given to you, fantastic. Goal accomplished. So I love that. One of the things
if someone in this room can help someone else get a job, great. Like, give it back. Like in a world where everyone's trying to take, just give. It doesn't have to be sometimes even a lot. Just give a little bit, right? I feel like everyone's maximum extreme like extraction. Like everyone's trying to take. We have 300 plus people in this room. Pretty sure that maybe there are multiple people that have the same question, or maybe going through the same thing, or maybe trying to even apply for the same job. Well, wouldn't it be great if you could all connect and start a little group of your own, right? If you don't find a helpful Telegram group or Discord group where they're talking about what we're talking about or trying to do the same thing that we're doing, then it could be great, like for you to spearhead that on your own, and then that's something that you can put in your resume or your LinkedIn profile. Like at the end of the day, you have to be doing something. I mean, something, anything, like maybe teaching other people what you've learned. That's still something, right? Like at the end of the day, like just do it and like actually put yourself out there and try to like take a shot. If it doesn't work, then great. You've learned that it doesn't work and now you can start over again. But the consistent, like just saying like, I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. There are millions and millions of people. Like there are people that have probably been coming to these sessions, you know, for over a year and they actually haven't applied any of the information. And that's just like, it hurts me because I know that they could have been so much further along. In this industry, it's not slowing down. It's speeding up. It's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. And the longer that you wait, if this is something that you feel like there's potential and you want to be involved in this, the longer that you wait, the more and more you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. So like not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, today. Right after you get off this, do something. And if you need help, reach out to other industry professionals and, you know, just say like, is there anything that I can do to bring value, or is there anything that I can do to contribute? And you'll be surprised at how many people will be willing to like, at least get you a response. Even if they can't help you, they might point you in the right direction.
Yep. Great advice. I want to talk about fake recruiters for a second, guys. Boy. I want to talk about fake recruiters because this is something that's really becoming an issue. And I'm getting a lot of DMs about it, about Emily, do you know this person? I've had people say, hey, this person on your team reached out to me. I'm like, I don't know who they are. So I want to show you guys this really quickly. So this is me, in case you don't know. Hi, great to meet you. But let me show you.
Oh, let's go to all of our employees. This is fun. Oh, this is fun.
View as member. 11 to 50. We've got 20 people on the team. 89. What is that? What is that? That makes me so angry. Do you know how many people are probably broadcasting themselves as a crypto recruiter, reaching out to people under our name and scamming people? I'm telling you, there's nothing more that grinds my gears than this. And I had this guy reach out to me and be like, hey, I reached out to him and I was not nice about it. I was not nice about it. I was not professional about it. And I was like, take our effing name off your LinkedIn profile right now, or we're going to have issues. And he responds back to me. Look at this. Business owner at the Crypto Recruiters. Nice try, Diddy. But,
oh, that's so good. So anyway, my God.
We've got all these people attached to our LinkedIn page, and it's like, how do I get out there? Like, hey, here's our team. You know, check our website. Everybody that's on our team is on our website. But like, yes, so many scams out there. Never attach your wallet to a job application. If a company is, if a recruiter is not asking for a phone call and they're asking you to fill out a document, record a video, wouldn't bother with it. Here's how a recruiting process works. I go out into my network and I go out onto my tools and I identify people that are a fit for the job. Now it's my job to screen these candidates for my clients, right? So what I'm looking to do is have a call with these people, right? Because I want to provide the best service to my clients and I want to give them as much information as I can. 400 people. Wow. I want to give them.
We might hit 1,000 a day.
Yeah, right. I want my hiring managers to be able to read all the notes from our call, right? I want them to be able to understand the candidate prior to even meeting them. So that's what I do. That's what good recruiters do. Is they call you, they have a conversation. Now, I understand there's a lot of people that, want to know the client name up front, and they want to know the salary up front. And I have no problem sending over the salary, sending over all the information, but I can't always share the client name. As an example, literally while we're on the phone, I just picked up a confidential controller opportunity, like literally like just now. So, I'm not gonna be able to share that company name unless I'm on the phone with you. And even then I might have to get you to sign an NDA, be reviewed by the client, and then come back to you with an interview request. So all I'm getting at is that if someone has under 500 followers, they have no LinkedIn recommendations, their profile is not verified, they have no mutual connections, I wouldn't even waste your time. Don't even get your hopes up.
Yeah. No content, no posting about the actual job, nothing that's related to the company. Like these are huge red flags. And never ever should you have to like send a company money for equipment before you get the job.
Oh my God.
This is another one too, right?
Yep.
It's unfortunate. And I think that, for everyone that's trying to do something good in the world, there's always that kind of opposite, or just someone that's out there. And this is a very, popular industry. There's a lot of money in the space now. There's more money coming into the industry, right? So wherever that happens throughout the history of mankind, there's always a dirtbag. There's always a scammer. There's always someone trying to take advantage of people. And it sucks, but, you have to realize that and protect yourself. And having conversations like this and bringing it to the attention of the community of these other kind of scams, like they're just people out there, right? So I'm glad that we can have these type of community conversations so that it doesn't happen to anyone. And it sucks when it happens, for sure. But these people are going to be there. They're going to get more crafty. It's also disheartening as well too, that with the advent of AI, it's going to be even harder for people to determine what's real and what's fake. There are people out there now that they're using face filters to do interviews with people on a Zoom interview. And people are like, hey, put your hand in front of your face so that I know you're not real. And they're like, I can't do that. And wow, I didn't even know that was like a way to be able to tell whether or not someone was real or not, because AI still has a hard time with the filters of making your fingers and other parts of the body to be real. So you have to be super vigilant. And this was someone that was at a high level security company that got someone to a final stage interview, and they were on the final stage interview, and they realized that something is off, something looks really weird, and the person had a face filter, and they refused to put their hand in front of their face, and it was an instant red flag. Right? So you have to understand that people are cheating. There's this interesting thing that's going on, that people are saying that they're using AI to help them with an interview, but they literally have their phone out. The interviewer is asking questions, and they're just literally just waiting and reading off the response off their phone. And they're saying that this is helping them. That's not helping you. That's cheating. And at the end of the day, someone's going to find that out. And if you're actually on the job, especially if you come in the office, sooner or later, you're going to have to be able to prove what you can actually do, right? So all that time and effort that you're putting and trying to be fake and scam and take a shortcut, you could have been using that energy to apply yourself and actually become better at what you need to do so that you can actually get the job, right? So in the age where everyone's trying to do this, just be different. Don't try to take the shortcut. Everyone has to put in the hard work, and you'll get there. Trust me.
You will get there. I have full faith. Maybe it's just bots joining us, honestly, because we got 432 people in the space. I'm blown away. All right. So Russell's got a question. What are your thoughts on trying to follow up with a recruiter on why you were not selected for a position? Great question. So companies don't provide feedback on your job application because you could claim discrimination. I have had people claim discrimination on some crazy things, right? They don't want to get sued. As an example, hey, this is an in-person opportunity. You're 2 hours away. We're not going to hire you because you're probably going to show up to work late. That is locationism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've had that.
It's always something. So I think if instead of asking for feedback, I would say, What exactly would I say? I just said this the other day. It's something along the lines of like, what was the client looking for differently? Right? So you're not saying what did I do wrong? You're saying what were they looking for that I didn't have, right? So you don't want it to be like, I was rejected. Why? You definitely want to be, like pushing the relationship forward. You don't want to burn a bridge, right? So I've got people that come up to me. Man, I've got some people that come. Did you see what happened on Twitter the other day?
People are salty, man.
So I'll tell the story really quickly. So random attack on Twitter. No idea why, not provoked. It was, it actually really hurt my feelings. Where was I going with this? I just want to share that my feelings were hurt on a tweet. It was like really affected me. Oh, that's what. So I was trying to think, I'm like, how is this person in business when they talk on Twitter like that, or like treat people like that? And I was really thinking about it. And I was racking my brain. I was like, you know what? It's because in crypto, there's a ton of people that match their behavior, that match their energy.
Yes.
It's very negative.
Yes.
So if you want to stand out in crypto, be kind, be considerate, be thoughtful. Don't post negative things on social media, guys. Like I can't. So we just had a candidate get knocked out of consideration because they had some very strong political views on Twitter. I had another recruiting friend of mine lost a client because she had posted something on Instagram that the founder didn't agree with. So you really want to be very thoughtful about what you're posting on LinkedIn and what the impression is, right? What does someone think when they see your post on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, right?
And especially like when you get emotional about something, because it's a very emotional time, right? It's a very emotional outside of crypto. I mean, there's a billion other things that are going on that can just make people like want their heads explode, right? Like at the end of the day, before you post something, go take a walk. Just like ask your friend how they would feel if they saw this and they are someone that's totally has no skin in the game, right? Like honestly, a lot of times too is like when you're like super angry and emotional about something, like I'll just go and like look at my dog, and then I'm just like what am I really upset about, right? Like you got to be really grateful for all that you do have. Like most people, we're having a live stream conversation with people all around the world. Most of us probably have a house or a roof over our head. Most of us probably have clothes. We probably have food to eat. Like it's not that bad. Crypto goes up and down. Like it's really, I think that a lot of people just aren't maybe even putting enough attention to like how grateful they should be and to be in this experience that we are all collectively able to share. There are still 90% of the world probably still don't even know anything about crypto. 90% of the world, people, like if you go out to the random people in the middle of the street and say, hey, what do you think about the price of Bitcoin? Or like, what kind of smart contracts do you want to build on Ethereum? They'll look at you like you have 5 Medusa heads. Like you'll be like the crazy person. So like, this is a very small community still. And a lot of it, I think that we get a lot of tunnel vision. And yes, there's a very toxic aspect inside of our industry. But I think that comes with a lot that's new. And be the one that's different. Be the person that's not going to follow those kind of toxic behaviors. And what you put out there comes back to you. It might not be immediate, but it eventually catches up to you. And a lot of people that you may like want to badmouth or bash on your way up, those are the same people that you might have to encounter on your way down and vice versa, right? So like know that whatever you do online, that digital imprint is there for a long time, and it will it's a lot harder to gain trust after it's been broken than vice versa.
Sorry, multitasking, always doing something. Okay, so I just can't believe we've got so many people in the room. I mean, this is like maybe the algorithm is back. I would love that because we just want to help. Whether we can find you a job or set you up for success to find your own job, that's what we want to do. If anybody else has any other questions, drop them in the chat real quick.
There's a good question about what if we are not that active on social media? Some of us have no idea how to market ourselves out there or find communities.
Well, that's why you're at Blockchain Brunch. We're telling you how to market yourself, how to set yourself up for success. So maybe come back next week and we'll talk more about personal branding. But really, what it is you want to get yourself out there. Your community is going to be attracted to you, right? So if you go through my content, some of it's a little silly, some of it's really helpful. But like my goal with my content is I understand how emotional the job seeking process can be. So if I can make someone smile, even for a second, like that's a win for me. So you want to pick, like when it comes to your personal brand, you want to really figure out who you want to emulate online. For me, I want to be unapologetically Emily, the same way I am with Blockchain Brunch, and with you, Trevor, is the same way I am with my fiance. Same way I am with my mom. Sometimes she can be very frustrating, but we're just gonna leave that there. Wow, she's gonna be watching this and be like, Emily. Sorry, Mom.
But it's like just being active, right? So like pick what you want to do. I don't think that you like the beauty of it is that it's a blank canvas and you don't necessarily have to be like someone else. You can be what makes you special and makes you unique. I think that one of the things that you want to do is if you're not like really comfortable with being visual like this, I mean, it takes a lot for, I think, Emily and I to get to this level of comfort, right? Start off small, maybe be a guest on someone else's podcast, right? And then get that first exposure of being on film and being in front of an audience. If you're not comfortable speaking in front of people, then volunteer and pay yourself as tribute to come up and and ask us a question during these live streams. You'll start to be nervous. You'll probably start sweating at first, but then once you do it one time, the second time's easier. You do it 2 times, the third time's a lot easier. Do it 3 times, the 4th time's much easier. Look at really great thought leaders in our space. There's tons of them out there. Like, what kind of content are they putting out there, and what kind of content resonates with a large amount of the community, right? So if you're someone that is really technical, what's Vitalik putting out there? What are any of these people, what are they putting out there? What's some of the stuff that they're putting out there, and what's the community attracted to? What's the response rate? Like, when in the comments, do you see a long string of comments? Do you see a lot of other people interacting and engaging with that information? Well, that may be something that resonates with a large community, and then you can find that little niche. Then how are you going to kind of craft your own message from that? So you don't want to necessarily cut and paste and just run with it as your own. Make it your own, make it unique. Some of the other things that you can do in terms of social media, I mean, if there's 488 people in here, try to even just this session alone, if you're trying to max out on the minimum of people that you should be connecting with each week, which is 100 people, that's what LinkedIn allows you to max out on. There's literally 490 people here. You hitting your 100 per week connection goal is literally, even if you just attended this once a week, you should find 100 people in this community that you can connect with. And then look at their job titles. Look at people's job titles. One of the greatest kind of tricks that I've learned is being able to kind of reverse engineer people's careers. So look at the people that are in the role that you want to be, and then try to figure out, okay, what are they doing? What are the things that they need to do to be successful in the role? What were the things that they were doing before they got the role? Were there universities or colleges or areas that these people came from that might be attractive? So just continue. I'm really harping this, but I think really continuing to think outside of the box and trying to figure out how you can have your own unique voice. And when you first start, one of the other things that I used to really harp on is the likes and the comments and how many people were following me. I mean, we were doing some of these podcasts and there'd be 1 or 2 people there. I bring the same energy if there's 1 person in the audience, if there's 1 million people in the audience. It's not necessarily about the likes at the beginning. It's about you getting better and better and better. And sooner or later, right, your tribe is going to start to come along. People that you resonate with, they're going to come and follow you. And then, you can reach out and they're going to introduce you to other people. So keep doing you. And sooner or later, it's not that everyone's going to kind of come across with that resonate, but it's about the right people that are going to resonate with you. And those right people, they're going to introduce you to other people that share your same values. And they'll introduce you to other people that'll share your same values. And then you'll get to a point where you have so many followers that you can't keep up with them, which is a good problem to have.
If they don't like you, fuck them. Excuse my
Yeah,
language. Seriously.
truly. Like life is way too short to be trying to like kiss ass and impress other people. Like if they don't like you, great. There's a billion other people to go do whatever you need to do. Like that's good, great. And if people do that and if they show that ahead of time, then that's just one less person that you need to waste your time with. Because there's a lot of people that want to waste time.
Yeah, a lot of people. There was one last thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, so last week on Blockchain Brunch, we talked about my challenges on LinkedIn messages, and what we're going to do about that. So I'm really excited to introduce you to Danielle. Danielle has been working with us for about 2 years. I've been working with her very closely on this. So I feel confident that she's going to be able to take care of everybody. I'm still monitoring DMs. But she is great at getting back to people instantly. So we just started this. I'm very excited about it. And so far, it's been really helpful. In Chicago I should know the answer to this. Hold on. It's either the 15th or the 17th. 15th. So April 15th in Chicago, downtown Chicago, we have a networking event. So if you are in Chicago and would like to come hang out with me IRL, would love to see you. We just hit 500. Wow.
Nice. Look
That's
at that.
awesome. I'm so glad you guys could be here, and I hope we've brought value to you. If we haven't brought value to you, please let me know. And sorry, I was reading a comment. So yeah, if you have any questions, if you thought this was valuable, let me know. If you think we could do something different, let me know. We want to set you up for success. And I feel like I've been preaching that the entire time, but like, name another recruiter that's doing this. Name another recruiter that's done all these placements for free. Name another recruiter that turns away business if it's not the right role. Or I'm sorry, not the right environment. If I wouldn't accept the job, I wouldn't ask you to. None of us would. We want to make sure that you are in a good place, a long-term fit. So anyway, thank you for coming to our TED Talk today, everybody.
And there's one other thing too, Em, before we do jump off. This was someone about they were potentially wanting to give up. They said they applied to over 100 jobs and that they felt like it was the end of the line. I have found, and I think that many other people that have struggled to get where they are and to become successful, it's sometimes those moments where you feel like it's the end of the road, that nothing's going to work out, that you should give up. And then when you keep pushing, it seems like those moments are, it's like life is just testing you. And like I've been there personally. I know that you've been there before. I know that a lot of other successful people have been there before. It's the times where you feel like, you know, you're at your absolute low, where you're literally like one step away from making a great breakthrough, and continuing to understand that, like, even for me personally, when I felt at my lowest, I know that there's someone else out there that would be dying to be in my personal situation. So always come in it from a positive a stance of positivity. You're not coming from a place of failure. You're coming from a place of experience. Like, look back at what you've learned through those 100+ job interviews. Maybe you can look at the data and maybe you might not be applying to the right jobs. Maybe there could be something in your messaging. Maybe there could just be something else out there that you're doing, and having conversations with people like this, because it may not be anything in you. It could just be your messaging. It might that, you know, you're not, your timing could be a little bit off. So a lot of these fixes are small, minor fixes, but having conversations like this is great. And when all else in doubt, and when you have those kind of feelings that, you know, it's the end, that's when it's really great to really connect with the people in the community that matter to you, right? Like, talk to your family. Like I said before, I go on a run. I go outside with my dog. I go to a museum. Like, I'll treat myself to a nice meal by myself. Like, those are the kind of things that when you step away from a little bit, it helps you get clarity, and it helps you to understand that, like, you know, this is not the end of the road. And for anyone that's even applied to 100 jobs, I commend you, because you've applied to 100 jobs. There's some people that haven't applied to any at all. So I think that you've taken the steps. Always be very proud of what you do, and never minimize your worth and think that it's the end of the line. It's truly only the end when you want it to be the end.
To be fair, Ray, your LinkedIn profile needs a lot of help. So I would really encourage you, take what you've learned today, implement that. You know, I'm seeing you only have 60 connections on LinkedIn. We got a lot of work to do, right? So I'll leave you guys with this. When someone comes to your profile, they want to understand where you make an impact. So you want to talk about the skills that you've learned, your day-to-day responsibilities, what you're now capable of. So really encourage you to build that out. All right, Trevor, any last words?
Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Have a great day, everybody. Thank you to the 527 people that are here. You need anything, you know where to find us. Join us this Friday. I need to know the
Your
time.
sessions on the X.
Office hours.
We're still calling it X, right?
On the X.
On the X. On the X, the Premier X. Got an episode of Just Chilling as well too, folks. So check that out. And yeah, we'll be back next week this time. And really appreciate all of you. Could have been doing a million things, but you're here and we all love to see it. So have a great day, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining.
Good stream.